Welcome to WIP Wednesday. My name is Marcy. I have been diligently plugging away at my WIPs list. I started at 13 and I just wrote them all down and I figured out I'm further along than I thought I was. Here is my list I made. I said I was going to, I finally did. I messed up there. That's okay. What do we say? That's okay. I'm further along than I thought I was. In my brain, I was sure that I had 8 projects left, but I'm pretty sure I only have 7. So there's an accomplishment right there. So if you're further along than you thought you are, basically that means you can start making more things, right? Just kidding. So let's keep this ball rolling here and let's look at what I've gotten done this week. It was almost nothing. It was almost nothing that I got done because it's just been, a busy time of life. But because of that, I looked at my Leah's lace shawl pattern. This is the one I was working on. I had gotten a little bit, maybe like halfway through the second stripe pattern, and I realized how close I was to being done with this section, and my brain works really well in sectioning patterns, and so I last night and this morning just finished it. So I finished my final lace section. I checked on my pattern. I have one more lace section and one more stripe section, and then I am done with this pattern. And the stripes go by so fast, and even the lace pattern does because it's pretty simple. The hard part is that I like to keep track of my stitches to know that if I'm right on or off, and I think I'm 1 stitch short, but I can't tell because there's over 200 stitches on my needles and I just kept losing track. So maybe if I'm really diligent, by next week, I'll be able to have the other lace panel done and the stripes. I'm not sure that will happen because as your stitch count gets higher and higher, and this one's gonna end, I read ahead to the end. This one's going to end with 400 stitches about, so it's probably going to take me a little bit to get to the end, but it's a relatively simple pattern, but so impressive. I'm really excited to finish this one. I feel like it's an unpopular opinion, but I love making stripes. Next on the things that I'm currently working on in that big list, which these are on my list, I did count them in my 7 numbers. So once these are both done, I'll be down to 5. But this is the Leela top by Caidree. This is the one that I added onto my list to make my numbers higher, and after all that excitement, I have lost interest. And the reason why is because the way that the pattern is written, there's some things that I need to force myself to do, which one is to sit down and count rows in between this garter stripe. And the way the pattern is written is they don't have it where those row numbers are marked. So it's not like, oh, you can just, this many rows in between. It's just kind of in this weird in between. So it's not a hard thing to figure out, but it is still something that I have to figure out. And you might have noticed from previous WIP Wednesday videos, whenever I reach a point like that, I get a little and that's usually in a project when I have to sit and figure out something, is when I lose interest, which is unfortunate because I also feel like that's one of the great things about the craft, and it's a lesson that it teaches me over and over and over again, is to sit and figure out your problems. So I guess I just need to practice what I preach here but I did work on it a little bit. I'm almost to the point where I start my underarm decreases or increases. I'm almost to the point where I start my underarm increases. And what I'm going to do is, because the other thing that's making me kind of fizzle out on this pattern is that I am unsure that it's going to fit me. I need to go back and look at the photos online and see how does this fit the test knitters, because I think the gal modeling the pattern is smaller than I am, and the way she's posed, her shoulders are kind of hunched like this, and it makes it look like the pattern is a more boxier fit than it actually is turning out to be for me. So I even looked at the ease in the pattern to see if it was a positive or a negative ease, and it was 0 to 2 inches of positive ease. So I didn't, which I was looking at and I was like, okay, this will work. And the measurements, I did all the measurements and everything else to have maybe about 1.5 inches of positive ease for me. It's looking like it's gonna be in the negatives, so that's okay. Where I think I went wrong is I swatched, changed my needle size, and then did not swatch again. Rookie mistake, but also I don't know if you've picked up on these videos. I am just a wee bit impatient. So, you know, I'm gonna keep going. This is my plan. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to attach it. So once I finish both the front and the back panel, I can attach it under the arms and keep going. I'm gonna get to a point where I can try it on and just see. So obviously at this point, there's no trying on right now, but oh, it will look so cute. But that's my plan. Before I just rip it out and say, never mind, I don't have time for this. I have other WIPs that I need to make, and this was one that I just decided to throw on my plate willy-nilly last minute because I had an idea since lunchtime and I was not giving up on it then. I just need to do better. There was one other thing with this project that was making me hesitate with finishing it, and the reason is that I'm unsure that it's gonna fit me. It's just looking a little tiny. It's looking a little tiny, and I'm nervous because like this part is supposed to connect under my arms, and I'm thinking, where is it supposed to connect? And the strap for the back part was, I think, supposed to be very small, which was one of the reasons why I chose this pattern. So my plan is to look at all of the test knitter photos and see if maybe I have my remembrance of how this garment is supposed to fit is off. And if it is, to kind of be like, okay, that way I can set my expectations for my finished project and not be very disappointed. And also so that as I'm making it, I can know if something is or isn't working, and can kind of troubleshoot my project a little bit better. And then my other thing that I'm going to do is finish this back panel, connect them under the arm, work a little bit, and get to a point where I can try it on and then see if I should keep going or if it's not going to fit at all and I need to just rip it out. My plan is, if I need to just rip it out, is I'm probably just going to save the yarn for something else and then keep going with my my finished object list, because I'm really tired of not being able to start new things willy-nilly, and I just want like 10 other more projects to do. So why did I do that? anyways, so that's WIP Wednesday for you. I have my list, I'm working on it. I've got my shawl that I'm really loving, that I'm almost done with. I have my top that I love. She'll be so cute, but if she fits, she'll be adorable. And we'll see. Come along with me on this troubleshooting journey. Maybe next week will be WIP Wednesday, the troubleshooting week, but hopefully not. Anyways, everyone, the end. Have a great week.